You know, buried deep inside your walls, hidden under the floorboards, there's this huge, complex network of pipes. It's kind of like the silent circulatory system that keeps your entire home alive and running. But what you can't see is that this system, it's in a constant invisible battle. So what's really going on here? What are these silent forces that are working against your home's hidden infrastructure, like right this second? Well, these aren't just random accidents or bad luck. They're actually the predictable results of a battle between your home and its environment. And understanding that battle, well, that's the key to winning it. To really get a grip on this, we're going to zoom in on one specific place that's like a real-world laboratory for this stuff, New Braunfels, Texas. Why there? Well, because its unique mix of geology, climate, and history makes it the absolute perfect case study to expose the hidden enemies of your home's plumbing. Okay, so let's meet the main adversaries in this fight. And while these environmental foes are super concentrated in a place like New Braunfels, trust me, variations of them exist pretty much everywhere. This makes it a battle that every single homeowner really needs to understand. All right, enemy number one, hard water. See, New Braunfels sits right on top of the Edwards Aquifer, which is this massive underground layer of porous limestone. As water seeps through it, it picks up a ton of minerals. We're talking calcium and magnesium. It's like a mineral magnet. Then, inside your pipes, those minerals act just like cholesterol in an artery. Seriously, they build up layer by tiny layer into this hard scale that just slowly chokes off the flow. The next adversary? It's literally right under your feet. A huge part of this region is built on clay-based soil, and this stuff is wild. When it gets wet, it swells up with incredible force, but when it dries out, it shrinks and cracks apart. This constant, powerful movement puts immense, and I mean immense, stress on a home's foundation, and more importantly, on all those rigid pipes buried just beneath the surface. So when you put it all together, it's not just one thing, it's a multi-front war. You've got that hard water building up scale on the inside. You've got the shifting clay soils squeezing your pipes from the outside. Then you throw in high humidity that makes everything rust faster, aging pipes made of things like galvanized iron in the older parts of town, and these crazy temperature swings that threaten to burst any exposed lines. It is a perfect storm for plumbing problems. So, okay, how do these invisible environmental forces actually turn into the very real, very frustrating problems that you, the homeowner, have to deal with? This is where the battle starts to get personal. Remember that hard water we talked about? Well, for you, it shows up as sediment that clogs your faucets and makes your water heater fail way earlier than it should. And that expansive soil? Yeah, that's the main culprit behind a lot of slab leaks. Those are the sneaky leaks in the pipes under your home's concrete foundation and broken underground lines. And if you're in an older home with those old galvanized pipes, that low water pressure isn't just an annoyance, it's a sign the pipe is literally rusting from the inside out. So the system fails. You've got a leak, a clog, whatever it is, you've got a problem. What happens next? Let's kind of demystify the whole process of calling in a pro, because just knowing what to expect can dramatically lower the stress when you're in the middle of a plumbing emergency. You know, a really professional response should always follow a clear, predictable path. It's all about taking the chaos out of an emergency. It starts with your call, where they figure out how urgent it is. Then comes the most important part, the diagnosis. A real expert isn't just going to patch the symptom. They're going to find the root environmental cause. And only after you approve a clear upfront price should the work even begin. And it should always, always end with a clean workspace and a guarantee on the repair. Okay, this is a huge one. A key part of any professional service is getting rid of the financial stress. Instead of some vague hourly rate where the costs can just spiral out of control, an expert should be able to diagnose the problem and give you a clear, flat-rate price that covers everything. This means you know the full cost before the work even starts. No watching the clock, no hidden fees, and absolutely no surprises. The other key principle here is just being available. Let's be real. A burst pipe or a backed-up sewer line doesn't care if it's midnight on a Sunday. Problems don't wait for business hours. An emergency service has to be ready to go 24/7, because water damage definitely doesn't wait. Now, we've been really focused on New Braunfels, right? But the lessons we can pull from this are totally universal. So let's zoom back out and see what this case study can teach every single homeowner, no matter where you live. So what should you take away from all this? Here are the big ones. First, get to know your local environment. Is your water hard? Is your soil clay-based? Second, know your home's age, because old pipes have totally different weak spots. Third, listen to the small warnings. That low pressure or a slow drain can be a sign of a much bigger issue brewing. And finally, just remember that being proactive with maintenance is always, always better than being reactive in an emergency. Understanding these forces really puts you in the driver's seat.
This quote from our source material really gets to the heart of the matter. A true fix isn't just about patching a leak, it's about education. Understanding the why behind the failure is what empowers you, the homeowner, to keep it from happening all over again. And that is the crucial difference between a simple repair and a real lasting solution.
So, we'll end with this question for you. We've seen how geology and climate wage this silent war on the pipes in one Texas town. Now it's your turn to ask, what invisible forces are at work in your home? Because knowing the answer, well, that's the first step to winning the battle.